Blue Beast Tales by the Paranoid PI. Moth-pocalypse. Carmichael, a man whose life was a stained tapestry of cigarette smoke, lukewarm coffee, and the clatter of a typewriter, hunched over his keyboard. His apartment, a monument to disarray, reflected the chaos of his pulp noir detective novels. He was a writer of the weird, a chronicler of the bizarre, and tonight, the bizarre had arrived in the form of a blue moth. It landed delicately on his keyboard, an iridescent sapphire against the yellowed keys. Carmichael, mid-sentence, squinted at it. "Well, ain't that a peculiar thing," he muttered, reaching out a nicotine-stained finger. The moth fluttered away, leading him on a merry chase around his cramped apartment. He lunged, he stumbled, he cursed, until finally, with a triumphant swat of a crumpled manuscript page, he trapped the creature. Laughing, he marched to the bathroom and tossed the blue moth into the toilet. "So long, sucker," he chuckled, flushing the evidence of his brief entomological adventure. Back at his desk, the night deepened, and words began to flow. Suddenly, another blue moth landed on his shoulder. Then another, and another. Soon, the air was thick with the silent flutter of blue wings. Carmichael, his amusement turning to unease, grabbed his deodorant can and his lighter. A makeshift flamethrower, born of desperation and a writer's ingenuity. The moths, it seemed, were emerging from the bathroom sink. He ripped the plumbing apart, revealing a horrifying truth: the moth eggs, countless and glistening, infested his pipes. His laughter echoed hollowly in the now dismantled bathroom. "Well, that's just great," he sighed, grabbing a battered suitcase. "Time to relocate." Stepping outside, he was met with a swirling vortex of blue moths, a living cloud buzzing around the street lamp. A jogger ran past, screaming, pursued by a relentless swarm. Carmichael, his eyes wide, jumped on his motorbike and roared out of the city, heading for his family's mountain lodge. He arrived to find the lodge covered in blue moths, a shimmering, living blanket. He pushed open the door and stumbled inside, flicking on the television. A news bulletin flashed across the screen. "We come to you live from the site of the origin of the blue moth epidemic. A declassified nuclear testing zone, textiles, crayon, and printing press factories. Moths love the taste of blue dye, nuclear waste." The screen dissolved into static.
1, 2.
Carmichael stared at the blank screen, a slow grin spreading across his face. "It's a moth's world, and we're just in it," he declared. "That gives me a great idea for my next book, The Moth-pocalypse." When the light of one detective both attracts and repels the moth, he grabbed his typewriter, the clatter echoing through the moth-infested lodge, ready to chronicle the end of the world as he knew it, one pulpy, blue-tinged word at a time.
Oh, 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 oh.